So, yeah, this is just unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable. And I would love to be able to talk about basketball. I would actually love to be just able to talk about basketball right now because I think the only thing the WNBA, like people actually complain about the basketball. Like over the years, people are like, oh, no one's watching the WNBA because it's not a good product. Right now, the only thing the WNBA has going for it is the basketball. I'm going to be honest, the only thing that's keeping this in any way relevant is the basketball. And like, look, have I become basically a drama channel? Yeah, but unfortunately, that's just the way the WNBA is. And I do think some takes on this, like, I do think it's not, like, most of the stuff that I'll say isn't necessarily, like a hot take. A hot take, like, a lot of people are like, oh, you just fence it all the time. And I'm like, well, the vast majority of the time, there's logic to in a lot of sides, especially when we're talking about sports. I'm talking about sports. Like, you're not going to find me have like a huge hot take or crazy take one way or the other when it comes to sports. The reality is that, or like when it comes to stuff outside sport, because the reality is like, I just live my life with the treating everyone the way you want to be treated. And if something's wrong that's done to one person, it's wrong when it's done to another person, and that's just the reality of it is. And then, but these players don't care about Erica Wheeler. These people don't care about Erica Wheeler. Erica Wheeler basically said this, and this is what they're going mad at Erica Wheeler for. And I stand by this. I feel so strongly. And I say I don't feel strongly. I think what Erica Wheeler and Kelsey Mitchell have said sums up why the Indiana Fever did not let the outside noise affect them when other teams did. And I'm sorry. If a tree falls in a forest and no one's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. If a troll posts abuse on Twitter and no one's there to read it, does it make a difference? We gotta answer that question. And yes, obviously, sometimes when it goes in person, it gets bad. But I'm telling you this right now: the people that are being radicalized in this whole situation are the people being radicalized against. A lot of time, it's the media radicalizing people against a 22-year-old who's a freaking great basketball player.
I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on Alyssa Thomas's comments and if you've seen any of that firsthand.
No, what was the comments?
Oh, Alyssa Thomas came out and said that the Fever fan base was racist.
I mean, we can't control what someone else says. Like
they're laughing at it because they're like, if you know anything about Erica Wheeler, by the way, S-tier human being. Like, look, I don't think she was that great as a player this year. Bad contract, S-tier human being. And I think most people that are like, when it comes to the Fever fans, are like, she's an S-tier human. Like, the amount of work she does with charity, the amount of just how much she defends her teammates, how much she defends her coach, how much she defends everything. Like, she is a vet you want in the team. I want him to keep her. I just don't want to give her a max contract. Pay her $75,000 a year. Instead of retire and stay on with the Fever, stay on as an assistant coach, stay on just working with the team. Like, Erica Wheeler is an S-tier human being. And you can even see Kelsey Mitchell and them laughing about it because they basically were like, they were asked a question being like, oh, what can you say about your fans being racist? And they're like, we just have like 15,000 people at every game cheering for us. Like, there are 15,000 people every single game cheering for us, going crazy and like being just unbelievably positive and making our lives better. For Erica Wheeler, like, the amount of money they've donated to all of her charities, like the amount of times Fever fans, these people are like they're going like to dinner and people are like, well, no, there's a Fever fan that paid for that for you. Like, there are positives and negatives when it comes to being in the big market team. But the reality of this is where it's like, you have to say this. By the way, this is something that actually was posted. Every time, about the Sky game, every time the Fever scored, the crowd would erupt, but it didn't feel like the fans were rooting for their team. It felt like a threat. This is like, that can't be real. That can't be real, but let's listen.
For the more like,
I think that for us, we err on the side of professionalism in a lot of different ways, and we can only control what's in our organization, within our people. And that, I mean, me personally, we don't condone those kind of things. No, no matter what color you are or whatever you carry or possess. I think
Basically, this whole thing is, we don't, obviously they spoke out on racism, but also said, look, we don't see it. We don't see it.
for us, we focus on the basketball part. And I think that she may have had an experience that we may or may not know on her own. But I don't think that, that should be labeled on us 12 or our, who we try to represent for ourselves. And so, I respect her comment and what she has to say, but I don't think it has anything to do with us,
And, like, she stands by that. You were what the person effectively said was, well, you basically harbor a bunch of racists, which no player wants to hear that, especially when you've done nothing.
Yeah, and also to piggyback on that, like, we don't condone any of those things.
At all.
For the more eyes been on us since C got drafted. So for us, our ears been blocked out longer than most people, if that make any sense. So, like I've said a comment before, like, it's a lot of things that try to come in this building and to pull us apart that we just didn't let. However, we probably got it too. We just don't care about it, because what's important is this organization and us winning games, and that's what we did. So, but for the most part, we don't condone that. I don't care about it, because there's a fan who probably sitting on the couch doing nothing, so I don't care.
And I stand by that. Like, that is the best thing you can do for trolls, is to not only basically saying you don't affect us, laughing about them, be like, well, you don't affect, you're just people sitting down. Like, why would anyone care about what people that are just sitting in their living room on their computers have to say? It's the best way to take power away from the trolls. It's the best way to do it. But no. These people are trying to ruin Erica Wheeler's life, and I mean that. And the worst part is that, like, I can't find all the stuff because there's so many unhinged spaces. But again, this is a quote-unquote internet troll. But these are people that are, again, trying to push for players. And if these people didn't have friendships with WNBA players, if these were just random trolls online, the problem is that these people actually have friends. Like, some of these people, I don't know who said what in these spaces because they're unhinged. But people in these spaces that are allowing this type of stuff to be said have relationships with these players. Not obviously romantic relationships, but just like platonic relationships with these players. So maybe, like, there is a little bit more to it than, this is just internet trolls. When some of these people are directly in the ears of players. When it came to Caitlin Clark, they basically, somebody said that WNBA players should band together and put out a police report about her because she's allowing this stuff to happen. And again, this is a person that was interacting with the MVP of the league not too long ago. But Erica Wheeler, what happened with her is, in one of those spaces, they accused her of charity fraud. They accused her of basically being the final few letters of the word raccoon. And they also, what was it? They accused her of taking that money and pocketing it. They've accused her of committing charity fraud. What? And Erica Wheeler's had to come out and said this. I'll say this one last time. If you know any piece of my journey to the W, you would understand why I don't care what people think of me, especially a stranger. Be for real. I've been told I wasn't, but I'm here. I'm always just curious if those people lack self-esteem, acceptance, or I don't know if they're okay mentally, because saying anything negative about me is a waste of time. Because Erica Wheeler lacks nothing. My skin is thick, and that's who I am, what I bring to the world. Thanks to everyone that's DM'd me asking for my thumb. I'm fine. But, like, she's basically come out and said it, and let's see some of the responses. Let's see some of these bad responses. Tell your teammates that then if they were clearly affected by it at some point. Like, yeah, they were. Like, that's the problem, is you can be affected. Like, it's there. It's never going to go away. Like, you choose whether or not to look at stuff on social media. And I hate to say that. At least people in general seem to be talking up on her. But it's like, that's the problem when it comes to Twitter, is that everyone's in their own echo chambers. Everyone's in their own echo chambers. But, yeah, like, this is sad because she is an S-tier human being. She is an absolute S-tier human being. And no Erica Wheeler slander be tolerated. If you want to criticize her for over-dribbling the ball, cool. But no Erica Wheeler as a person slander shall be tolerated. Everything she has done, she is the glue that keeps this team together. As far as just mentality-wise and morale-wise and everything. She has been such a great leader for Caitlin Clark. No Erica Wheeler slander shall be tolerated on the Mixed Talk Soups channel. And if you want to get yourself permanently Thanos snapped from commenting, that's the easiest way to do it, is Erica Wheeler slander. Because of all just people on this team, and like, as far as the Fever are concerned, like, this is one of the reasons why this team is so likable, is obviously, to be fair, it's very easy to be bitter when you're constantly seeing negativity around you. This team is so positive. Like, all of this team, whether it be Alyssa Smith, Erica Wheeler, don't know enough about Christy Wallace, Katie Lou, Lexi Hull, it just seems like a great group of players. Aaliyah Boston seems like the nicest person ever. This seems like a great group of people, as much as anything. And I think that's one of the reasons why, regardless of the trolls, like, this is one of the, like, nicest group, as far as the WNBA is concerned, outside, like, as nice a group of people. I really like the players on the Lynx team. I really, really like the players of the Lynx team. Nothing against the Liberty. I like the players on the Wings team, in fairness. But as far as just player for player, no one wins. The Fever win the, if personality and people was win the title, the Fever would win that.